Hey, how is it going, everyone? Welcome to I Wanna Follow the World. You know what? I think I noticed that this music here in the main menu is supposed to be from Minecraft, right? Kinda sounds like it. Oh, that's not important. I was close to beating this game, actually. Because this is the last world and there shouldn't be that many screens remaining, considering that we already did quite a significant amount of screens as it is, so should be done. I mean, it should be over today. Just that these screens are hard. It will take a while, but that's fine. Last time I remember needing to end on this screen, not because there's anything special about this screen, but because I was getting quite salty, you know? I didn't see those. Yeah, here you have to do a bunch of stuff to progress. A bunch of jumps. Some very annoying ones at that. Ooh, that was close. Okay. What do we have here? Short jump. Nice. And then... oof. I need that guy to jump. Ooh, that was so close. Okay. That's a very fucked up save though. The kind of save that... you basically cannot catch a break on that save. But that's the thing that happens a lot in this game. A lot of saves are things that, you know, really take your time to think. Mostly because you get shot. And, you know, that's annoying. Though here, I'm in a hard time actually doing short hops. But with the conveyor belt, it's impossible to go before getting shot. Like, you have to kill this guy. Okay. I think that the fish, I can probably keep it alive. I shouldn't, but... what? I have no clue what killed me there. That was weird. Sure. Maybe it was that I went like off the screen. Or was there a bullet that somehow hit me? Something, I don't know. I don't think I was paying full attention. But maybe I should kill the fish after all. I mean, the thing about the fish is that he will be an issue in the whole screen. Okay. So okay, I need to wait for that waddle dude to move. Should be fine. Problem are the cherries. Yeah. You don't really have a safe spot there. Like there is no safe spot. You have to constantly move, and that includes jumping as well. I really wonder how the final boss of this thing is gonna be. Because the creator has already shown that he's capable of making a very annoying boss. It's all up to him to see if it's gonna be annoying or not. Oh, fuck. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I have a lot of space here to dodge. Well, that vine jump, oh, fuck, that sucks. That jump sucks so much. I mean, I only need to hit the gravity thing, but still. Okay, that could have been worse actually. Wasn't as bad as I originally thought. Oh, but this jump is hard. Okay, got it. Oof, and it keeps going. I mean, I wasn't expecting that screen to be the last one, but... well, I kinda was expecting it, actually. With the fact that it fell into the middle, kinda looked like it could be the last one, but no. Not the last one. Alright. Well, so be it. Wait, can I snipe these guys from behind? I mean, if I am able to fall... Yeah, right. Nice. Well, only the first one, obviously. But that's better than the alternative. In fact, I wonder if that's... But I kinda know that that's something he overlooked, right? It is very easy to spot. Because the intended way will be going on the other side. Going on the other side is way harder. And here you don't even need to wait until he shoots, like... You can just easily go behind him at any time. What about this, though? Huh. Okay. I don't know if I need to jump beforehand or not. Yeah, with how many times I need to spam my shot, it ends up really tiring my finger. Okay. No, you need to jump there. Like, it's not possible to fall without... Well, you might be able to jump beforehand instead of needing to waste the double jump, but no, I don't think it would work. I think that you need to double jump no matter what you do. Okay, that works. And then... Wow, that looks cancerous. Yeah, that... Because the problem with those jumps is that it's anyone's guess how strong the wind is gonna be. So you don't know how much strength you need in your jump until it's too late. The only way you could know is if there was like a number next to the wind that told you the strength of the wind, but without knowing the strength of the wind, it's very hard to understand. It's fine. Well, obviously a second one had to be very small. In fact, I think it has to be small and it had to be from the very bottom. I think that no matter what, even if you do the smallest jump possible, you're hitting the top spikes. And then after you land on the other one, going up the vines, reverse gravity, and then fall. What did the blue water mean? I don't remember. If it was the previous stream, maybe I would, but I don't actually remember what that blue water did. I cannot remember personally. Or is it just normal water? It's like you have reversed gravity, so I don't know if that's a liability or not. Oof, nice. Wait. Do I need to save a jump? No, I don't. Not to mention it's impossible anyways. Okay, but it's pretty hard to react quickly, and I'm still afraid to know what happens when you land on the water. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, and I cannot really jump either, because I'm falling down. I don't remember what it did. I really don't. Maybe it's just normal water, but I think the directions of the bubbles is supposed to be important. Maybe it just means that you're gonna fall slower or something. Then it jumped actually too low there. Too floaty. How to do it so fast? Also, the platform that floats up kinda makes me nervous when I'm on the vine. It's just that it's irrelevant because it's not gonna hit you, so you shouldn't fear it, but still makes me uncomfortable. So I think that what really is making me uncomfortable is the position of my keyboard. Should be a lot closer, like this. I'm stretching my arms a lot, but I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, like that should be better, I think. I was just stretching my... But it's not all my arms, it's mostly all my wrist, doing some unnecessary, you know, effort. Really? So hard to move your character in that wind current. Really is. I gotta say that this checkpoint compared to a lot of the checkpoints in the game seems to be very long. It's like it requires a lot of actions, but not just a lot of actions, it's like a lot of hard actions to reach the next checkpoint. There's something that this game usually doesn't have, at least not for what I remember. What are you doing? Did I get killed by that? Here I was thinking that I needed to worry about the final boss already, but like there will be a while until that will be a worry. That there are still quite some screens left. Really, dude. It's like every time I die in a different way in those wind currents. It's just feels so unnatural. So, a bar appeared above me, or am I making stuff up? Like there was art, like I really don't remember what that water did, like what the effect of that water was. I don't know if I'm supposed to press something or not. So I die instantly to the spike on the right. I should have moved faster to the left. Okay, there is no bar. I guess I made that up. Okay, and that seems to be simple water. If anything, I guess it makes you fall slower, so that section is easier. You don't have to worry about moving that fast to the side. Good to know. Also, this guy really seems to insist in using vines in almost every screen in the final stage. There are so many other gimmicks you could use in every stage, but no, you're gonna be using vines. Because you know that, for example, anti-gravity and the other blocks or some enemies, they are not in every screen, but I feel that the vines appear in every single screen in this final section. At least in these last two screens, the vines weren't really used in a hard way, so at least there's that. Well, apparently I cannot get past that wind current now. It's a shame. Quite a shame. Ooh. Did it too fast. I'm not good at focusing under pressure like that. Especially not when my gravity is inverted, you know. Hard to listen to my natural instincts. And I'm not in a natural position, you know. Fuck you, dude. Yeah, this is one of those checkpoints that seem like such a mental block that I essentially died to everything that is possible to die to. There are some checkpoints that are just like that. You know how, for the most part, checkpoints have obviously a lot of places where you can die. You usually only die to one, which might be either the hardest obstacle or simply something that you didn't pay enough attention and died to. But checkpoints like this one that are annoying tend to kill you in every way they can kill you. You won't pass it until you die in every way possible. And there are still ways to die, like in that water I could die to any of the spikes that is not the first one. Easily. It's pretty clear here that I've been stuck on this checkpoint for longer than I think any other checkpoint in the game. With the exception of the stage 4 boss. I don't know if you count that as a checkpoint. I guess it is, but yeah, it's been the hardest one so far. Or maybe I'm just very cold still. I don't think that's the case. I think that this is simply a fucked up checkpoint and that's it. Which makes sense since we're getting close to the end of the game, you know? This section here is so fucked up. Like, it looks simple. Well, maybe it doesn't really look simple, but like the vine, the reverse gravity and the instant jump you have to do here, that cannot be too instant, of course. It has to be such a tight timing, and then landing here and trying to adjust to this fall. Like, that's such an annoying place to be in. And of course, it had to have vines. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say that half of the misery that I feel from fan games involves vines in one way or another. I'm pretty sure that half of my misery in these fan games comes precisely and exclusively from vines. I don't think that I seen such a dog shit mechanic in any other game. It's fine. Well, no, I probably did. Actually, yeah, I definitely did. Well, I passed it. The first one that comes to mind is UFOs in Toho UFO. That is some very dog shit mechanic without a doubt. Oh, this looks annoying. After that, hold on. Oh, well, this looks even worse than the previous checkpoint. So you get here, this is water. You're supposed to float, well, swim, I guess. You're supposed to do it in inverted gravity. Then you fall here. Which is hard considering that you have spikes here. Well, reverse gravity, then you jump here. And this is a hard one, because once you get here, like, you have to immediately jump. Is this even possible to do? I'm not sure how. I feel like a single double jump is not enough to land here. Then you have to avoid this thing with a double jump, land here. Which, this checkpoint, I thought that the previous one was pretty fucked up, but this one seems to be even worse. At least vines are not included, but yeah, we will see. I can complain about vines here, but it seems to be even worse than the previous one without a doubt. So imagine how much worse it will be with vines. Will be something else. So theoretically, I think that you can do all that green section without jumping. No, sorry, not without jumping, without moving. Like, you don't need to press any direction as long as you jump properly, but that's easier said than done, and especially with reverse gravity, that makes it harder to orient yourself. You have to do one jump here and then fall like this diagonally and then jump again here without pressing anything. You know, this, and that's not even the end of the checkpoint. Like, it will be very appreciated that in this square that you see here there will be a checkpoint, but no. Well, maybe there is a checkpoint in the normal, in the lower difficulty, probably. I don't know. Maybe, you know. Okay. And then I think no, I don't understand it actually. Hold up. Oh, I didn't see this platform. This is why I also dislike anti-gravity. Like, this platform was here all this time and I couldn't see it because my brain doesn't process in reverse gravity, it processes in normal gravity, as it's expected. Okay, you're supposed to land there, well that makes a lot more sense. You see, otherwise, as I was saying, this jump is impossible. You cannot do a single double jump and somehow get enough height to get past that spike. Okay, well, good to know. Okay. This jump is harder than it looks because of the cherries. Not sure when's the right time to even go for it. Like, it feels like there is no right time here. Okay, that's the right time. But there is still more. And of course we have vines to start the checkpoint. At least it's not a hard jump. You need to kill these two. So you kinda want to kill the waddle doo when the flying guy is on the top. You have to spam quite quickly so the waddle doo cannot even hit you. It's doable. I think that the hitbox of those guys is so shit. Alright. There is no danger here of hitting the top spikes, but there is of course of hitting the bottom ones. When I say no danger, I mean as long as you're in the platform. Okay, got it. Well, surprisingly on the first try. And ignore these guys. Probably not the two here. Unless you... No, you cannot simply fall. Wait, Why is the waddle do trigger? What? Oh, and I'm seeing a portal. So I'm assuming that this is the last screen, which will also mean that this is the final checkpoint. Interesting. What do we have here? So you kill these two guys, you jump. This is the most annoying place, probably. You try to go down here, jump up. Well, you don't need to kill these guys, just that you gotta be quick to not get shot. Land here, well, the jump should be easy. Double jump here. What is that? Well, you can kill this guy once you land here, but that's assuming you haven't gotten killed by him already. And then this guy is irrelevant. Assuming you have this guy killed, you can just ignore this moron without problem. Oh, I pressed the suicide button, my bad. I pressed Q. Didn't mean to. I reset like a moron because I thought I was gonna die. Oh, hold up. As I say, you don't need to kill the first one. You cannot ignore the other two, but the first one is very easily ignorable. Yeah. The fishes in every single screen they appear, they are a mistake. These fishes are a mistake. They are so goddamn annoying. Well, that's the point. Doesn't make them any less of a mistake though. The water portion will be annoying. At least it's close to the beginning of the checkpoint, but it would be a lot worse if it was near the end. But it's annoying nonetheless. Really moved to the right on the water. Pretty much a suicide. Because I cannot really override my instinct. My instinct tells me to go right, but in this water it's not that good of an idea. I also don't remember if you could double jump once you were out of it. Well, yeah, you clearly can. Or can you? Well, it's like I tried double jumping there and it didn't work, so can you really do it? I mean, you have to be able to, right? Unless this jump, it remembers this other one. Fuck, okay, I need to try by doing this. No, not by doing that, damn it. The problem is that those spikes don't really let me... Okay, no, you don't get a double jump. So do I also need that platform that soldier is in? Like, he's not leaving me any room to do it, so... Is that really what I'm supposed to do? I have a feeling it isn't. I don't know. The biggest problem is the fact that You're constantly moving, right? Okay, that works. Oh, this fucking fish. I'm gonna enjoy murdering him so much. Wasn't the optimal place to double jump, but it works. So here I kinda want to wait him to come here. Okay, I didn't think of that, but if the other guy is shooting at the same time, there's not much I can do. Okay, I could kill him from here, I didn't realize. Like, the bullets will go straight to him. And this guy has to die. Okay, I guess I'll try that. Shame I didn't figure it out earlier. You know, you definitely don't want to be on that platform when the fish shoots. It's a horrible idea. And then try to kill this guy from here. Well, try, it shouldn't be hard. He's dead. And then here, he takes a long time to shoot again, so you can just do that, and we're done. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Wait, where am I? Okay, here. Hold on, let me save and see what dumb shit these guys have to say. They should say random shit that I don't have to care about. These are just this guy so cis talking about random shit. Huh. I get multiple hits to down him, huh? So this boss fight might not be that hard then, if I can tank multiple hits. Famous last words. It's probably gonna be fine. It's just a regular guy with a gun, okay. Cool, I guess. Yeah, pretty good intro. Can I move? Tyler from I Wanna Escape the Foundry. Am I supposed to know what that game is? Maybe. Okay, so you can tank 4 hits, I think. So this guy can tank 100 hits, it seems. Look at that shit. How long is this boss? To mention that with a pattern like this, I cannot hit him continuously. So if this guy has no checkpoints, this might be a problem. Okay, you know, it seems that I can withstand 5 hits from this. Well, that's better. Only slightly. The biggest problem is that he has way too much health. Like, way too much health. Uses basically all of the attacks from the previous bosses. The problem is that if a boss fight like this takes a long time, even in a successful attempt. I'm pretty sure that this boss fight is like 10 minutes long, isn't it? Well, maybe that's an exaggeration. It's less than 10 minutes long, but it's gonna take an eternity. Obviously, I say famous last words precisely because of that. Like, the fact that you can take multiple hits is, you know, a warning in itself. I think that the issue is that none of the previous boss fights had this much health. So you get to this one and it's obviously a surprise because I'm pretty sure that this boss fight has more HP than every single boss combined of the previous stages, I mean. It's hard to see that coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if originally here this boss fight had only you could only take one hit. Could be. I don't know if it's just my impression, but I feel like he has less health in this attempt than in the previous one. And maybe it's just my imagination, but I mean, you never know. Maybe he actually implemented like a pity rule so that the more you struggle, the easier it gets. It's possible. I doubt it, but it really feels like he has less health here than in the first attempt. Or maybe it's because since I already seen these attacks, it's like my brain is kind of going into autopilot. Not sure if the cobweb thingy... Yeah, that's gonna be annoying though. There's something I'm forgetting. I can be using gamepad. Why am I not using gamepad for this boss fight? Am I stupid? Clearly. I can just do this. I have a way easier time with gamepad here. Doesn't mean that it's gonna be easy. It means that it's gonna be easier. Another fun game made by this creator. Well, yeah, I assumed that that was the case. How is it going, Wasabi? Yeah, that makes sense. We might be stuck here for a while simply for the insane amount of health this thing has. I'm not sure exactly how many hits it is, but I'm pretty sure that they are 100. Actually makes me wonder how many hits did the boss that I made have. I'm pretty sure it had a similar amount, but the difference is that my boss had no iframes, and on top of it, it was like you could hit it way more often than this thing. This guy has so much time that he cannot be hit. My boss could be hit a lot. It also depends, like the difficulty depends on how hard the attacks could be. And it's pretty clear that the attacks are kind of separated in... Oh, wait, do I have to go there? No, oh, okay. No, quite the opposite. Well, the problem is that this means that we're gonna have the other guys too, right? Like the fat guy and the bow and arrow guy, right? Yeah, it will be the case. Well, that's gonna suck. If there's something I didn't want to see again, it was that. So yeah, this will be painful. Indeed. So, I cannot damage you, you know? You're doing all this shit, you still have a lot of health and I cannot damage you. Isn't that a little bit overboard? Don't you think, maybe? Or maybe it's because I have to kill all of the guys. So yeah, well, he left the fatso for last. I'm pretty sure he's aware that this guy is the hardest one. In fact, he pretty much put them in order of difficulty. That's gonna suck. You know, here's the thing. If you want my opinion, instead of allowing me to tank multiple hits, you should have made it so you actually have checkpoints throughout the fight. Like, both are ways to make the fight easier, but checkpoints are a way less cancerous way of doing it. You see, taking multiple hits helps a lot, obviously, but I'm not a fan of repeating shit, especially when a lot of this you barely have any interaction with the boss itself. Like, you're mostly just dodging, not dealing damage. And I mean, that would be fine if it wasn't for the fact that he has so much fucking health, you know? That's the biggest problem here. Like, that amount of health and having most of the attacks be dodging is a bad combination, I will say. It's fine. I mean, this is something that, as I say multiple times, you have to expect from fan games. You have to expect the final boss to be the most obnoxious shit possible. I mean, it happens. As much as I like boss shit, it happens in boss shit too, you know? Like, Solgrim as a final boss is quite obnoxious. Whatever. I can guarantee you something that Solgrim is not, which is an extremely long fight like this one. Like, Solgrim, despite having 3 different phases, and well, one of the phases being you not being able to do anything other than dodging, like essentially an avoidance, it's still faster than this. It's kind of a problem, I feel. if you ask me. I feel that if your boss fight is longer than Solgrim, you might have a problem. And obviously longer in this case I'm talking about in case of a perfect attempt. Because yes, a boss fight can be longer with how hard it is. You can have a boss fight that in a good attempt takes only 1 minute, but it's so hard that it will take you like 10 hours to beat. It's possible, but no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking specifically about a winning attempt, right? So here, for example, look at the timer. It starts in 6 hours 13 minutes, right? So let's see how long it takes to wherever I get, because I don't know where I'm gonna die, obviously. I cannot read the future, but let's see how much time. Let's see how much time that takes. Remember, 13. Oh, I wasn't expecting him to go there. Okay, remember the 13-minute mark. It's very important. Remember that, and then we will do the comparison. Well, honestly, I should do that with Solgrim as well, because here I'm saying that Solgrim is a boss that is long, but it's a, you know, I feel like it's an acceptable length for a final boss, but I don't know exactly how long Solgrim is. Like, I never counted the time. If I had to guess, I would say Solgrim is 3 minutes long in you know, the winning attempt. Because the first phase can be over pretty quickly. Like, that one probably doesn't take more than 30 seconds. The second phase, depending on how lucky you get, will be, I think, 1 minute or 1 minute and a half probably. And then the final phase, which is, as I said, a glorified avoidance, is another minute and a half. So maybe like close to 4 minutes, I guess, is how much Solgrim takes. So I feel like anything longer than that is too long. That's already long enough, as I say, but if it's longer than that, it's way too much, dude. Especially when you cannot even damage the guy half the time. It's like you're doing a 10-minute avoidance, and that's something that exists, but that's not something that should be applied to a boss. And here keep in mind that this guy has iframes, which means that it's not that I can blame my lack of spam ability. Like here, well, a better player could probably land more hits than I do. But the point is that the difference shouldn't be that big. But a good player or someone with auto shot, because this game has auto shot in the options. Pretty sure that you don't want to be spamming, you can just enable auto shot. I'm very tempted to enable it, honestly, especially if the fight is gonna be this long, because otherwise by the end of the stream my finger is gonna be dead, and so will my hand and my wrist and everything. Well, right now it's already on the 3.5 minute mark, and according to his HP he's only halfway done. So yeah, that's a bad signal, if you ask me. That is a very bad signal. Well, not only halfway done, but the thing is that this phase, for example, I can deal no damage at all. What am I looking at? Okay, those are fire arrows in water. At least it tells you where he's gonna go. I got killed. Okay, so those are 5 minutes. With the premise, I don't know what the final phase is gonna be. If this is the final phase, this can only take 1 more minute and that's it. But if the final phase is another like glorified avoidance, this could easily go to 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah, 13 minutes, I know, thanks. So yeah, like this is, the fact that it already is taking 5 minutes is a little bit too much, you know? Like, I'll go to my Boshi playthrough and try to measure how much Soul Green takes, but I'm pretty sure Soul Green is 4 minutes. And again, that's what I consider to be a long boss fight. So anything longer than that, I will just consider it unacceptably long. But at least on the right side, as I say, you're allowed to take like 4 hits. So that makes it less painful than it could be, but it's still painful, you know. Guess if I get hit at the beginning, I probably should reset. Though it's very easy to get hit on that attack. The thing is that in something like this, the end will be anything that you could imagine. I guess I gotta accept that in this. No, two times is too much. It's that, yeah, that attack, well, at least it's one of the first ones, but I think that's another case of completely uncontrolled RNG, because the cherries are random, but the thing is that you have to pass close to them, and whether they are gonna hit you or not heavily depends on RNG. If you get lucky, cherries are not gonna get summoned downwards. But if you don't get lucky, they will, and it's almost undodgeable at that point. Because here you have to jump. So, like, I'm pretty sure that at that point you just need to get lucky. It's another case of uncontrolled RNG. Well, judging by the stage 4 boss fight, it's not like particularly surprised about it. So this bomb attack can be an issue. Will hate Camellia 3. I mean, I will hate Camellia 3 regardless of how many minutes the bosses are, you know? Like, that's the thing. Camellia 3, I think that the final boss being more than 4 minutes long is the least of my concerns. And I tell you that because I won't reach the final boss. But that's the least of my worries, if I ever gave a shit out playing Camellia 3, which I don't. So yeah. No, Camellia 3, forget about it. That's a game that won't happen. Ever. It will not. that's not enough. Come on. Wow. And if you fall, like, you don't die immediately, like, those multiple hits until you die. It's pretty funny. But yeah. Well, I think that even if we might be here for a while, I don't think it's gonna be for that long. Like, my prediction here is that I get this within the next half an hour. That's without knowing what is left after the water phase, you know? I just assume that the water phase is either the last phase or the second to last phase. And if it is the second to last phase, I'm assuming that the last phase I can hit him just like in that one. Because if it's an avoidance, then yeah, obviously it might take more than half an hour. Which is a problem. So hard to not get hit by these cherries. Like, that is a case of completely uncontrolled RNG. When you try to jump over the Gordo and you have to pray that the cherries don't get summoned downwards, it's yet another case of RNG that is not controlled at all. And essentially you gotta get lucky, lol. Get lucky, bro. I'm gonna read that in a little bit. In a fight like this, I cannot afford to look away. But I died anyways. I wanna be a time attacker which has a 5 long minute avoidance as the last boss, and all the hard attacks are multiple minutes in. Yeah, basically, when you see a boss in a fun game... No, let me correct myself. When you see a final boss in a fun game, you just gotta assume, as I was saying earlier, that it's gonna be the most cancerous thing imaginable. Like, fun game developers are incapable of doing good final bosses for the most part. Like, it's something that they are very triple about. Yeah. I would like to know about what people will think of my final boss. Because, I mean, everyone that managed to get there liked it. But that's the thing, there was only the 3 people that got there. It might just be survivorship bias, you know? Yeah, everyone that got there liked it because everyone that got there was masochist enough to get there. So, I don't know how a less masochistic person will think of it. I personally think that I try to avoid every of the things that I hate in I Wanna Be the Guy final bosses. Like, it's not a long fight. Like, I'm pretty sure that the full fight is a minute and a half long. There is no uncontrolled RNG. There is RNG, yes, but RNG makes a very small difference in a lot of attacks, and it's only there for the sake of, you know, not making it static. And then, well, doesn't have iframes, which can be a negative to a lot of people. You can also damage the boss almost constantly. Try to bring your attention to your fan game in this Fangames award. In this year Fangames award. Well, I appreciate that, but I mean, I don't see what that's gonna accomplish, because I'm pretty sure that, you know, events like that are there to you know, congratulate games that the majority of people like. Pretty sure that this game, I mean my fan game, not this one that I'm playing, like, my fan game wasn't that well liked, you know. So I appreciate you bringing attention, but I mean, the fact that it's not known is because it's simply not good. You know, because that thing that, oh, it's such an underrated game that, you know, it's not known because you're unlucky. No, I'm pretty sure it's not known because it's just not good, and that's fine. Hey, I don't think that bringing attention to the awards is gonna be a good idea, personally. Well, I don't know how the awards work. I'm not interested regardless, in the sense that I'm not interested in participating or whatever, because well, it's what I said some time ago. Anything that is community events, I'm just not interested in them. Of any community, not just this one. Yeah. I think that you don't need to bring attention to a good game, because if it was a good game, it would already have attention. So it's okay. Like, the first game, just let it go. You know, you can just let it go. I mean, of course, anyone who is naturally interested in playing it because they somehow stumble across it and they want to try it, they are obviously more than welcome to try it. But the thing is that you cannot force a game to be the center of attention if it doesn't deserve it. Like, a game will be the center of attention if it deserves it, and nothing else. No, but the hidden gem, that's not a thing, dude. Hidden gem is something that usually people say for games that they like, but most people don't like. And that's understandable. There are a lot of games that fulfill that requirement in my case. Like, for example, to me, Wings of B is a hidden gem to me, but the thing is that it's not really, like, when I'm saying hidden gem here, is that it's a game that I like and most people don't even know it exists. But they don't know it exists because for most people a game like that is fucking trash. A game like that makes you rage quit like 2 levels in. But when I say level, I mean screens, like 2 checkpoints in. So that's the thing. I could call it a hidden gem, but I understand that the reason it's not popular is not because it's like a super good, amazing, like, game of the year game. It's simply because it's not a game for almost anyone, really. It's a game for a very specific set of people. And well, that specific set of people happens to be me, or I happen to be part of that set of people, I guess I should say. But yeah, again, I could call it a hidden gem, but it's not really a hidden gem. Simply a game that is as popular as it deserves to be. you know? Like, and that's saying, like, not that popular. It's as popular as it has to be. Like, some people know about it, it has a decent amount of reviews on Steam, but it's a game that will never reach mainstream appeal, ever. Or even mainstream recognition, you know, that's the thing. It's a game that it's there precisely because the way it's made can only be liked by a very small amount of people. So yeah, that's what I think about hidden gems. It's just simply unpopular games that you like. When I say you, I mean that anyone can like, but they are unpopular for a reason. Like, trust me, if a game is not popular, it's for a reason that it's not popular. There's always a reason. Well, a reason or multiple. You know? Like, for example, why do you think that everyone knows about Super Mario 64? Because you can easily say, well, Mario is an established brand and everyone knows Mario. Yeah, right now, everyone knows Mario. And of course, when the Nintendo 64 came out, yes, it was one of Nintendo's most popular franchises, but video games were pretty small back then, you know? Like, by the time that Nintendo 64 came out. And why is that game so popular then? Because it's simply that good of a game. It's as simple as that. It's that good of a game, so that's why it's popular. And it's precisely part of the reason why Mario is a big brand, because of games like that. You know? Yeah, sure, Nintendo's advertisement helps a lot, but it's not like Super Mario is the only game that Nintendo tried to advertise, you know? Remember ARMS? Like that fighting game on the Nintendo Switch? Where is that game now? Like, I'm pretty sure if you say ARMS, most people don't even know that you're talking about a video game. And it makes sense, because that game is mediocre at best, but it's a game that had a lot of publicity when it came out, you know? It's not like Nintendo didn't promote it, but it's simply not that good of a game, and that's it. That's the reason why it's not popular. Yeah, that's what I have to say about hidden gem. So for some people, ARMS could be a hidden gem, you know? But the truth of the matter is that it's simply a game that is not good enough to be extremely popular, you know? Or it was the first 3D game. Well, yeah, but I mean, that's a merit in itself, you know? Because you know that there are a lot of games that were the first in something and they never reached the amount of popularity other games got. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the Legend of Zelda, the first Legend of Zelda game, was inspired in another game that I don't remember the name right now, but it's a game that is not popular. Well, in fact, I don't remember the name. I'm pretty sure it was on the NES as well, and it's prior to Zelda. But nobody remembers it. And nobody remembers it precisely because it's not as good as Zelda. Like, it's not that good of a game, and that's it. Like, that's the only reason. So being the first is not really that, well, not to mention that Mario 64 wasn't really the first 3D game. I mean, at that point it depends what limitations you're putting. If you mean the first 3D console game, no, because Super Nintendo already did that with things like Star Fox. Even though you could say it's not real 3D, well, it's 3D for all intents and purposes. And if you don't mean that, arcade at that point already had plenty of 3D games. In fact, I'm pretty sure when people talk about the first 3D game, or at least the first one that got massively popular, I'm pretty sure it's Virtua Fighter. Like, that's the one that I think that is like the first one. Like, Mario 64 is pretty far from being the first 3D game. You could, as I say, put like limitations of what first 3D means. So it could probably be the first 3D console game to like use a certain amount of polygons and to also be a platforming game, I guess, right? With all those limitations, yeah, maybe it is, but no, trust me, the reason why Mario 64 is popular is because it's good. It's good. It's simply a very good game. It was a good game when it released, and it's still a good game now. But to me, that's redundant to say. A game that releases being good is always good. A lot of people like to say, oh, this game didn't age well. No, a game that didn't age well is a game that was never good. You were just easily impressed by something in particular. But yeah, Super Mario 64 is just a very good game. And I say it even knowing that I'm not a fan of the physics. Like, I never liked, you know, Mario's acceleration. But I like the game. It's a good game. Basically, to sum it up, if a game is not popular, it's because it's not good. Or at least not good for you know, the majority of people. Can be good for a couple, but not for the majority. Yeah, my fan game definitely fits that description. It's just a game that, well, like 2 of the people that beat the game say that it was a good game. But yeah, that's, as I say, it's a good game for them. What about everyone else that tried it? Well, no, clearly not. And I'm pretty sure that a lot more people tried it than the ones I already know. Like, there could be a lot of people that entered, downloaded, and saw like a couple screens and they were like, nope, not playing this shit. And it's completely understandable, you know? I have a lot of health right now, so like I should be able to tank the majority of shit that I might get hit by. I guess it depends on how hard these patterns are. It will be hard. Also, isn't this, I just realized, isn't this the Toho sound effect when bullets are being summoned? And I think I might have gotten him. Oh, I only got hit twice, not bad, right? Ending. Oh, I got it. I guess it wasn't that hopeless like I thought, the final boss. Alright, cool. Well, that's the game. Now, I guess I have to think of a plan B, but... yeah, well, I think that this game was cool. Like, I basically have to take away stage 4 boss. That's the worst part of the game. Binds are a specific problem that I have, so even if I can complain about binds, it's a problem I have with them that not most players have. But yeah, when it comes to everything else, I also didn't like the checkpoints that had an enemy at the beginning that you were just supposed to spam to beat it, because I feel like, what's the point, right? Just have nothing, and the only difference is that your finger is not gonna be sore, because most of the times they weren't even enemies that could kill you. Most of the times they were just there to make you waste time. So I think that in that regard, yeah, like that will be my only complaint. Well, the final boss was pretty long, yeah, but I guess it's whatever. Like, it could be a lot worse. And then, yeah, everything else was fine, I feel. The worst thing, stage 4 boss, but everything else, pretty well done. So yeah, cool shit, I guess. Was nice, I enjoyed it. It's on Renet's engine. So, is there even music playing? I don't hear shit. What happens? Wait, hold up. I can just use the, the keyboard here. Ooh, I almost pressed the wrong button. I don't know what button I even press, but yeah, I almost pressed the wrong thing. Okay. Well, I don't have any reason to go back unless you tell me that there is a specific thing I might have missed, but for what I'm seeing, it's simply a stage selection, so I guess you want to play something in particular, you can. Yeah, I know, it say that it was from Battle Cats, but I didn't hear anything. Well, my hearing is not very good, so I guess it could be that. Alright. Well, I guess in that case, that's been that. So hey, I guess she's for I wanna follow the world.